Hi everybody, thanks for popping in today. Plump your cushions up, make yourselves comfortable. It's lovely to spend time with you. I have to say thanks for such lovely comments you've been leaving. I do appreciate them all. Today, again, this video is answering a few questions and a few of you have been in touch asking me about the new Dinkles. So I thought let's have a play. Now I've had a little bit of a session. As you know, I like to do with new products, I like to have a look at how I would use them with techniques I'm comfortable with, and then I look at ways of exploring new techniques. For me personally, that just gives me more confidence with the product. But again, that's, you know me, all I do, lovely crafty friends, is come in and show you how my mind works. Not necessarily right, in fact most of the time it probably isn't, but you know, when we make videos, we're just trying to help. And if I do something that actually it's a technique you wouldn't do, you wouldn't use, that's fine, don't use it. I always say it's a bit like recipes. You know, we tweak recipes, don't we? Or is that just me? I add a bit extra, maybe take something out I don't like. And it's the same with crafting. So this is just my way of thinking, just as a starter with these fabulous new products. First question answered, because I know I'll forget, is I'm using the Lavinia watercolour card. Now, you know me, I tend to do designs that go on 6x6 cards and envelopes, just because for me these are great for posting, and that's what I'm going to work on today. Now this is fabulous, the A4 sheets, and I know when I cut out an A4 sheet I get two 5x5 pieces, which is great, two toppers, but also I get a lot of cards. I know it sounds daft, this sort of size, which then I can make almost toppers with, but also I can experiment, and that's what I'm using here. So what I've done, the technique I'm going to do today is we're going to do some stamping, we're going to emboss, we're going to use our VersaMark ink and this beautiful white embossing powder, the Wow one, the one that we sell. And I've had to go already, and I just thought I'd show you, for me, this is a great way of testing the colours. Now, before you ask, Dinkles, right, pop a hole in the lid, but if you want to have a look inside, you watch, I'll spill this. These are a powder. Now, they're fully pigment, and in my head, I take the word pigment and change it for colour. So I know these are fabulous pots of colour. Coloured paint that I can decide how I use it. So for me, I don't need to overcomplicate it. I don't know what they're similar to, what they're different to. I just go off the product as it is. So for me, I've got a pot here of highly coloured powdered paint. So this sample here I did with the amethyst, and as I say, it was a way of me of checking the colours out. So I'll pop that to one side. And then this one here, and I have to say I love this one. This one's my favourite. And this one, I used the Blue Dragon. And as I say, this was just, I was using one colour. Now these, because they're highly pigmented, they're not a mixture of lots of different colours. So it's this highly coloured powder that will vary in intensity depending how much water you add. That's important. So here on my little, and I'm going to make one of these to show you. So I know you're asking me how to do it. Where I've got less water, look, I've got more colour. And then where I've added more water, the colour obviously is lighter. So we've got high intensity and we've got less. And this is fabulous because, oh, it's just great for giving those backgrounds if we want just one colour, but different intensities of one colour. And that's one of the beauties of this product. So I'll pop that to one side. Now this one, to show you, I had to go at mixing my colours, and this has got, and I know you know I love these colours, mustard seed, burnt orange and chili jam, anyway. And that was just having those three almost in an ombre effect. And just to show you, when they dry, look, you can add more ink on top. Oh, so many possibilities. So I'm going to pop these up because obviously I've popped the little pins in and I don't want to spill colour because we are talking high intensity. And I'll give you a little overview of how we create almost, we're going to make a project using a few of the stamps together. So I'm going to put these to one side. You know what I'm like. I don't really have many one sides. So this is my watercolour card, as I say, 5.5 inches by 5.5. Going to take the lid off I'm going to get my copy paper because I'm going to do my stamping first. Get my VersaMark ready. Now, you could use an anti-static bag for this, but for me, if I get any specks of embossing powder, the sort of look I'm looking for, I quite like that, so I'm not going to use, but if you want, you could use your anti-static bag. And I'm going to use a couple of different stamps, and I'm going to have them ready because the idea is I'm going to stamp up before I add my powder. So we've got the wild summer flowers, we've got the seed heads, the solid one, and we've got the field grass. Got to use my favourites. So now bear with me because obviously when we stamp in our VersaMark ink pad, it's clear, so I won't really be able to see where it is, so we'll have to guess. Little tip, always make sure your stamps are beautifully clean before you start this, because if not, obviously your ink pad, and I know you're all nodding your head because you've all done it, your ink pad will get mucky, and I'm the sort of person, I just don't like a mucky ink pad. First workshop I ever did, I passed my brand new, VersaMark ink pad round for the crafters to use. Well, when it came back, it was black. I think only a couple of them had actually cleaned the stamp before using it. Well, me being me, I wasn't happy. My little face. But that's just me. I mean, don't get me wrong, if it gets ink on it, obviously you can still use it. It's just me. I just don't think it looks the same. So, as I say, I'm just inking up roughly. Now, at home, again, if you want, you could stamp one of your flowers and then put your embossing powder on. Got a little mark there. I need to blow it. I don't want to rub it because that might smudge my lovely stamping. And I'm going to clean my stamps after. First thing I want to do now, get this embossing powder on. Just before it dries out too much, we'll lift it up, give it a tap. I think with a little bit there we can just get rid of. Bit of a tap, I don't want to tap it too much. Now, maybe in the light, can you catch that? So we know we've got the embossing powder there. And now's the time if I wanted to add a bit more, but I'm happy with that. I'm just going to run my... So we'll pop that there. And I'm just going to put this back in my pot. Again, carefully. And I'm not just going to leave it on one side and do it later. Because do you know what? If I do that, I'll forget. And I'll spill it and it'll go everywhere. And I don't want to lose that lovely... we buy these products. Let's look after them. So, heat tool. I'm going to use my Wow embossing heat tool. Will be a bit noisy, I'm afraid. Heat it up first. Just on your hand, heat it in the air. Just so it's nice and hot to start. And we're just going to move round and emboss each of these little flowers one at a time. And I'm hoping you might be able to see it happening. Again, slowly move your way round. Remember what we say, no wafting. Just watch what you're doing. Last little corner. And then you can give it one waft. Right, that's better. And just hold it up in the light and have a look. And just check. Right, we've missed that little corner, look. Can you see? We've not quite got that. So back with the heat tool. Won't mind, I've filed it on the floor. So let's just catch this corner. There we go. Happy with that now. Give it a bit of a... So the exciting bit, we're going to add our Dinkles. Now, me being me, I've got a little mat here. I need a couple of tools. Now, when you go and get one of those nice coffees, you get one of these stirrers. That's useful. You know me, highly pigmented, lots of colour. I'm thinking of my fingers. Water bottle. Kitchen towel. A bit to dab and a bit to put under. And I'm going to decide what colours. So let's pop this down. I'm thinking I want to, for this one, I'm thinking I want to go blues and purples. We might just add a touch of red actually. Anyway, we'll put them there. For me, I'm going to spritz first. And I want the concentration of the water and the colour, the highly pigment at the bottom. Not much at the top. So I think about it before I start. I'm going to spritz watercolour card. So it's going to take all that. I'm just going to hold it down. So let's go some blue. And then I'm going to add some purple at the bottom. And I'm just holding it down almost to keep it flat so I can see how it starts to run. And I think I might just add a little bit of red just into the mix here. Now, if I want to move it, I've got my fabulous air puffer, the one we use for our lovely Lavinia alcohol inks. Well, this is great if I just want to move any of this colour. Let's have a bit more blue up round that flower. Now, because we've done the embossing, it will resist. This is where you get that lovely effect. So I'm just moving this ink and I'm thinking a little bit more. If I want more water, look, I can. Just want a bit more blue there. Add a bit more water. Oh, yeah, that's better. See how it popped then? Now, at the top, I want a bit more colour, but I want it paler. So if I add more water, watch how it starts to run. Grab my kitchen towel and I can just mop up bits. I mean, you can make it look like clouds. I just want it paler up there. So I'm in control of how much colour. Look at that lovely deep blue there. See, I like that. And look how that's now, I can just move, oh look, we'll move that bit round there. I like that. Good old coffee stirrer. Says we're putting my finger in. I'll tell you what, these hands. Now, I know some of you might want to get your hands in and do you know what? That's fine. You do that. You know me. That's just not me. And I think with crafting, we just go for whatever we're like. I want a bit more deeper colour there. Oh, look, you see that pops? You couldn't really see that flower. But if I've added some darker blue, that pops now. Now, I'm happy with that. And I want that to stay a deeper colour there. I like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop this to dry to one side. And I'm not clever enough to come back and keep this video running in a while. So I'll just take a picture when it's finished and show you. And I've got one similar that's dry. But for me, you just work at this when you're playing, depending on how much colour you want. I mean, I love it. Almost looks like these flowers are on fire. As I say, if you've done some embossing like the flower here and it doesn't show up, maybe add a bit more dark colour. And just keep playing. Now, I'm just going to put this on the floor next to Eric. Bless him. And here's one that I've got, which I made earlier. And this one's dry. And just to show you how it dries. And I love that. So we can do a couple of little finishing tricks, can't we? And let's bring in our acetate circle masks. And let's put a bit of a moon here, look. And I'm thinking, I don't know what's going to show up. So we'll try the blue atoll first. Because again, you want to know with these products, you know, the little tricks, the way we can use them. But also, you know, how you can transfer that. If you're a card maker, how you can make your cards. Now, I'm just going to give this a go, as I say, with the blue atoll. I'm not sure if it's going to be dark enough. If not, I've got my midnight blue there ready. I can just add some colour. Let's have a look. Now, look at that. What do you think? Do you think we should add a little bit of midnight blue? Well, for those of you who are saying yes, if I spoil it now, on your head be it. Right, let's pop this back on. I'm only going to pick a bit up, and I've gone for a smaller brush, look. I'm going to pick a bit up from the lid and just gently, because again, what is it we say? Can always add it, but once it's on, you don't like it, you'll be making another. Let's have a little look at this. A bit more at the bottom. Oh, that's nice. Now that's just added. So for those of you that said yes, thank you. I like that. I'm thinking, let's add a bit of our Stickles. So again, rude little chap. So let's pop it on the mat. Don't want him having wind on our work. An empty water brush, and let's just add some nice glitter on these beautiful wild summer flowers. Now, this will be fabulous to batch card make. It's a great way if you've got our bookmarks, because they've got the watercolour card. Make yourself some bookmarks. Beautiful. You know, and if you're thinking, if you're going to need presents, lovely way for gifts. Little bookmark. I love making them for the grandchildren, you know. I mean, I love buying them books. I really love books. And I give them a little personalised bookmark as well to go with it. Right, so I'm just going to mop that up. And then the last thing, just going to add some lovely Posca splats. And I think I'll come in with the white. And again, a good old shake. Get your brush and just tap. And this will sit beautifully on top of our Dinkles. I'm going to bring some down here because the white, it'll tie in beautifully with the white embossing. And as I say, for me, if you want to make yourself some swatches of the colours that you've bought, you could make yourself some little, just maybe use one flower. Now, I might just have to add one of my butterflies to this. I'm thinking I may. But for now, I'm just going to... Sometimes you need to stand aside and leave something before you decide whether it's finished or not. Now, I've got a white piece of card there. If I pop that on there, just to give you an idea. And if we zoom in a bit, look at that. And when that Stickles, the glitter glue is dry, I think that is going to be beautiful. I love that. So I'm hoping that's helped just give you a little bit of one idea what to do with your Dinkles. There's lots more, obviously, but we haven't even touched at stencils or grunge paste or watercolour painting with them, background painting with them. So many things you can do, but this is just the first one to just get you into it, and then, oh, them crafty juices will be flowing. So thanks for popping in. Hope you've enjoyed it. You let me know. Anyway, you take care. I hope you enjoy the rest of your week and have a lovely weekend when it arrives. Just remember to be kind to each other. Love and hugs from me. Bye for now.